So everybody, welcome to the GNA. We have a terrific speaker tonight, and we have a great, exciting time for you. The speaker tonight is licensed master at the Avatar course. We're going to all find out what the Avatar course is, if you don't already know. Through Stars Edge. So she's licensed through Stars Edge, making a tremendous difference in people's lives by teaching them one of the most amazing personal development programs on the planet. We're still on the planet. There's another one on its way, and we're going to be going through the trails pretty soon. She is also a certified and licensed massage therapist. Boy, if you guys haven't had a massage, I recommend that you get a massage, especially with Genavieve there. With over 20 years of experience. You've been doing massage for 20 years? That's amazing. Currently practicing at Studio 415 Salon and Spa in Folsom. During her spare time, she has spare time. She's licensed and she's a distributor in Young Living Oils, which are products that are completely safe and all natural. Mark?
Did you get the call? Did you get the call?
No.
On the Nichole's way?
Oh, Nicole?
Scroll below.
Surprise! Boy, you're going to have two. There's nobody else.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Oh. Oh. So what is that?
Yes. So you can introduce her and then we've got
Oh, we have another speaker tonight. They're going to speak together. We're going to have to. Oh man, this is cool. I love two people speaking. There's Nicole Alsey, who's with Mary Kay, and she's an independent beauty consultant, co-host of the Women on a Mission to Earn a Commission. I already know it's called Home Tech. The chapter in Folsom. At the beginning of this presentation, both Genavieve and Nicole will both take the stage and discuss how they are making a huge difference with women's empowerment in the Sacramento regional area. What do they need more power for? Oh my God, they're always walking over.
You know what, Bill?
They walk all over me.
Can I say something real quick? Last night, and we're recording this, last night at Dublin GNA, that's a huge market for women's empowerment.
Yeah.
We were doing upcoming events and announcements, and every single event was a women's only event. We're like, guys, we're going to create a poker night. Just have a night. It's I'm all for women's empowerment.
Yeah, all we do is make the money, give it to them.
There you go.
They're empowered, right?
Elias.
So,
Instead of having bunko knife,
Yeah.
you need to have a, it's bunk knife.
Hey, let's do it the Zeller Mansion. How's that?
Good.
Are you down for that, Rick? Guys, night up.
okay, they are both amazing
Guys,
organizers of the Thriving Women on a Mission to Earn a Commission. Immediately following the brief segment, Genavieve will take the stage with her signature presentation. And the presentation topic will be Avatar, the 7 pillars of enlightenment. And that's for the men too. Just to let you know. So without anything else, I'm going to introduce Genavieve Gibson and Nicole Alsey. So let's make a big round of applause. They went in the back of the room. Come on, keep going. Let's give them a big welcome. Yeah, they were in the back of the room. They're so
Well, thank you so much, Elias and Bill. And I guess we're going to call you Uncle Rick now.
I hope not.
Grandpa Rick, it looks like. He said he was old.
Well, we really appreciate having us here at the GNA event. I really like working collaboratively with other networking businesses. Women on a Mission to Earn a Commission. We started in December.
Yes.
We launched in December, and we just officially became a chapter with the national organization, due in most part to Nicole's hard work. She's actually signed up 75% of the people I'm doing a lot of admin, and she's out there signing people up. So we make a really great team. Really great team. When I know that if I'm not going to be there, Nicole's actually running the meetings for me, and it's fun. Yeah, it's really fun. The nice thing about Women on a Mission to Earn a Commission, there is a $25 membership fee, but it goes towards the Courage to Dream Foundation, which helps out foster kids. It actually helps foster kids when they transition out. Normally what happens in a foster family, when it's called aging out, they turn 18, a lot of foster families really kick them to the curb. Yep, just like that. And what the Courage to Dream Foundation does, it helps set them up in a temporary apartment living, and it teaches them life skills, things like checking accounts and how to apply for a job, and interview skills, and how to even getting their driver's license. Because a lot of times these children haven't had that mentorship. So that's Women on a Mission to Earn a Commission. I'm going to sit down and let my co-partner, Nichole Alsey, talk about Mary Kay and things that are near and dear to her heart, and then I'll be up in just a little while. So this is my really good friend Nicole, and she's going to be talking to you about women's empowerment. Thanks so much, Nicole.
Thank you everybody for coming out, because time is a precious commodity. I always say this. Time is a precious commodity. You could be anywhere else. But you're here. So that must be something great, right? So, like Genevieve said, my name is Nichole Alsey. I am so into just empowering people in general, but I love working with people, connecting people in so many different ways. But people really don't really know or have a perceived conception of what Mary Kay is. You know, some old lady decided to, sell some lipsticks and cleansers. Well, it's definitely a lot more than lipsticks and cleansers. I get to lead women towards success, help them discover their inner strength, their inner confidence, and bring it out, whether it just be making them feel great. People feel great about their skins. We have stuff for men and women, which is really cool. Or, just help them go to the next, have a next transition. So some people do what I do for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. I never thought that I was going to do this, but I've been in the beauty industry for over 7 years, and I was a hairstylist before, and you know what? It's really hard on your body. And how often than not, you get passionate about one thing, but you have this glass ceiling or this road that stops and you just don't know where else to go. So this business has given me the opportunity to really go work in my community, which is really my heart, and I know it's Genevieve's heart as well, and to help support small businesses or other people's businesses and dreams, I think is really huge. And so two things that I always like to talk about with people are, it's not, people don't remember what you said or what you did, but they sure as heck remember how you made them feel. And how true is that when you have a privilege to be in somebody's life and then you lose them? And so beyond just that, everybody has a desire. How many people use a cell phone on a daily basis? Most of us, right? How many times in our society do we see people with their phones like this and sitting down in Starbucks, and really they're not doing much of anything? They whine about not having friends, about not being valued, when all we needed to do was interrupt their day, step in front of them and say, hello, or I love the way your shoes look, or I really love your smile, or hello, or open the door. And I feel like my business has given me the vehicle to be able to do that more often, to acknowledge that people are not just a nobody, they're actually a somebody. And I think when you put people first and value people first before the dollar, so get the pennies and dollars out of your eyes, it totally opens up a whole new world. And that's kind of the philosophy that I have in my personal life, because my business has kind of taught me to do that. Not that I didn't already do that. I love helping and loving on people. I love giving a voice to women in domestic violence shelters. I work with the domestic violence shelter called My Sister's House. So I love giving voices to women that may be broken, that just don't know how, and they want to be integrated back into society. And then I also work with women that need a plan B. And you know what? Mary Kay was a plan B for me. And then I got injured on the job 6 weeks later, and it's been paying my mortgage since day one. And I've been working my business for almost 2.5 years. So, I mean, the world is your oyster, but you know, the one thing that I've noticed that a lot of the reason why business owners become business owners is because they want to feel valued. They're not valued by their current 9-to-5 job. And so they go out to go find something more. And I feel like the business that I have personally fills my cup in so many ways. Like networking to me is like the funnest thing ever. I get to meet people. I get to invest a little time in somebody new that I haven't met yet. And it's a great way because entrepreneurs normally think on the same wavelength. Then when you get outside, it's a little different, right? So this is always fun. We all kind of talk some of the same lingo. Okay, so I'm going to get on past that. You're probably wondering why I love working with Mom Tech and Genavieve and stuff like that. Well, there's some values in my business that have also been in my life that connect. So I'm going to connect the dots so you understand, because some people choose different things for different reasons. So I started my Mary Kay business because they never asked me to put my faith and beliefs in my friends and family before $1, and I was constantly degraded in my previous job and career. Then the second thing I would say, I grew up with the golden rule. The golden rule is very important to me, to do unto others. So being able to make a difference in the community or just in between friends is really, friends, family, whoever, beyond my little bubble is important. And so I kind of try to do that as well. And then Mom Tech just connected so well with my core values of God first, family second, and car third. They want us to become close. A lot of the people that I had met, like Marilyn's here tonight, I met her at a Starbucks randomly. I was just talking about how passionate I was about helping other people and how much I love the products that I use. And she, you know, she's a transplant. She came here to love on her mom, but guess what? She needs a business to where she can thrive, and she needs relationships where she can thrive. And I was able to plug her in, and it was so awesome to connect all these people. So I think that's the biggest thing is you got to remove yourself from the equation, right? Like how often than not when you go to network, you step into the room and there's vultures. And so I've had that side of things where they're just sucking you dry. What can you buy from me? What can you buy from me? And then I've had the other side of things where I've built like these amazing relationships that I didn't know would exist, and where people genuinely want to like support me, and I genuinely want to support them. So yeah, it's pretty interesting like how that all works. So the people that have been molded into this group are people that are truly passionate and committed to their own success and other people's success. They love what they do, and they don't have to do things. Like I don't want to say like I don't want to cuss right now, but they don't have to do things. Like they don't half-heartedly want to be there. They legitimately want to be there. They legitimately care about you. And I think that's huge because I think before anything, relationships are the most important because you can take away everybody's business, but you can never get back those people. People are priceless. So I think it's just really like interesting how things have kind of evolved, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of. Does anybody have like questions for me, like about my experiences or anything like that? I think you have other key.
What did you do before to really enjoy doing? Were you more creative?
So I was a hairstylist for over 7 years. I worked for a very big, high-end hair salon, and I was not valued there. In the industry, in the beauty industry, there's a lot of drugs and alcohol, and Mary Kay was a safe place for me to thrive and grow because there's not alcohol and drugs or cigarettes or any of that kind of stuff there. So I felt like that was good and it was really healthy. And I think because there's a lot of spiritual health and strength within the core of the business, and that golden rule is very important. That's what has always driven me, you know. So I feel like I don't know what your guys' 5 basic needs are, what out of the 5 basic needs that you are, but I'm love and belonging, and my second is power and achievement, my secondary. And so I found loving through connection through phone or person, face to face, to me, that is the best way to build your business. It's just representing yourself well. Because at the end of the day, we're all disciples. We are. We really are. Whether we want to take that or not, we're all disciples, and we best represent who we are and who God is, who Jesus is well. And I really, truly believe that in one shape or another. I mean, and so I personally just think about, like, no matter who it is, good or bad or whatever they've done in the past, I mean, what it really boils down to is treating people the way you want to be treated, loving people anyways, with the benefit of the doubt, without a benefit of the doubt. And so when you can just look past that and just, for face value, see the person right then and there and let go of all the other junk, because we all have junk, right? Yeah, we all have junk. So when you can just let go of that and just focus on the heart of the matter, it's like treating the people the way you want to be treated, everything just goes so much easier. So I don't get hung up on different lifestyles or who said what or who did what. It's how the relationship I hold with that person is important. Because how much money is in your pocket really doesn't create a value that you are. So that's just the way I look at it. But your willingness to work is a different thing. The gift of work is important, in my opinion. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions for me on how I network or anything like that, or what I do, or how I connect?
Yeah. How do you do it?
Yes. Okay, so there's a couple things I do. I'm working really hard on this. Mary Kay Ash always had this quote, and I have to say it to myself every single day. She says, make me feel important. Pretend that the person right in front of you has an imaginary sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. Because too often than not, we don't really do that. And I'm working really hard to concentrate on listening. I have a hard time concentrating personally, so yeah.
She heard it though.
So it's like,
Thank you.
it's intense. And before Mary Kay, you would not see me up here. There's no way in you know what that I'd be up here actually. I'd be shaking like this, and I'd have probably have anxiety attack. Mary Kay's been great at that ability. Yeah, thank God, right? I would hope it worked on me somehow. It's been like almost 2.5 years, but yeah. So my ultimate goal is to sponsor a domestic violence shelter for $10,000 and to get married and become a sales director, be a leader of leaders, lead other women to the dreams and goals that they have, because everybody is worthy and deserving of the best them that they can be. And I mean, I don't know, I feel like it's the best kept secret out there. Like, my business really has done, I have like a long list of things it's done for me, and it only, you know, I didn't think it would come into like a bag or two, with all this crazy good stuff. But yeah, so lots of friends. Actually, a lot of my friends are from networking, like a lot of them, because I needed people that thought like me, you know, and I think we undervalue people that are fighting the same fight or doing the same great things. So how I network, I guess you gotta get deeper on how I network, because who has like a decisive, like actual like question that's a little less broad?
Well, how do you start your day out? I mean,
How do I start my day?
right, I mean, how do you plan how you're going to network? Do you diary? I mean, calendar? What do you do?
Well, I have a daily and monthly calendar. And there's an hourly thing too. But I just start from the month, look at my month, and really just, I start, every month's a new month, so I put everything amongst my goals and my family. So I match those two, if that makes sense. It's different in everybody's business, but you really need to track and you need to know your dollars per face. You need to know that when you come to networking to release all, I'm going to sell something, you need to release that and let go of it and say, how am I going to concentrate on how you're going to help the other people in there first, because it'll come back to you.
As far as questions or like to wanting to ask, I guess my question is, do you also ask them like their stress level and things like that?
No, I don't even go there.
What's your, I guess, approach when you know what you can offer, but you want to find out if it's important to them?
You listen to their needs.
So that's what I mean. Do you ask like those questions like about their lifestyle maybe?
Sometimes it depends. You can only probe so deep when you only have a few connections. I always say come away from a networking meeting with having anywhere from 1 to 3 connections. Some people, like Elias, always say to schedule in an appointment or something like that. I always say,
I'm sorry, I'm talking about like a potential
client or customer. Well, I would just build that rapport with them first on the first time you meet. It's probably going to take 3 touches. 3 times of contacting and talking to them to really, with networking, yeah, so it really should be you finding some common ground with the person and seeing if you even mesh well personality-wise and loving on them anyway, because they might know people that can need your services, but if you don't get to know them on a heart level, like a few questions I ask is, what's your ideal client or customer? What do you need in your business the most right now? And like, I would say, what's your life like? Because that is such a broad question. But generally have an idea of what they do outside. Like, what do you enjoy to do? Like, what's your favorite hobby? What do you enjoy to do outside of networking? And that's kind of like the top 3 questions I ask. You normally don't need to get to the hobby one if you just listen, because God gave us 1 mouth and 2 ears. So that's what I'm learning.
What kind of practical steps do you take from the place where you find meetups, like find good places to network? What kind of practical steps do you do to find those? And what kind of practical steps do you do afterwards? Like when you're finished with a network?
When I'm trying to find a networking group?
Yeah.
Well, I have friends that are business owners, so I always pick other people's brains because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So number 1, create relationships with other business owners. 2, just because things that cost a ton of money, I've been to groups that are highly expensive networking groups that are like, oh my God, you must pay $1,000, which is ridiculous. And then I went to ones that are free, and I'll be honest with you, the ones that are super expensive are really lacking relationship. So I make sure, number 1, do I have a relationship with the person that is referring me to these groups? Because to me, that is so important, because if they think it's good for their business, it might be good for mine. Then I'm just going to have to invest the time and carve out the time. It's just going to have to happen. And then also, the place that you're networking, is it a place that you want to live? Because if you don't want to live there, you probably shouldn't be networking there. Just saying. That's just me. What do I do after?
What kind of information or contact information do you see that is the most efficient or the best information?
The best contact information?
Yeah.
The phone number is always better than anything else, in my opinion. That's just me. Because I'm more of a face-to-face or over-the-phone kind of girl, and if you don't have good communication skills, you're probably either not working your business correctly, or you probably can't work with me, because I need someone that can be socially inclined, because I think that building a relationship, I'm not going to be able to refer my clients if these people aren't willing to talk to me. So I just can't. If I don't have a relationship with someone, I will not refer them. I know it sounds horrible, it sounds really bad, but building that relationship is real important, because I have to know I can trust the person. I think you had an after. Your after
Yeah,
was
oh,
like an
okay.
Yeah,
after.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I contact people typically within 24 to 48 hours after, and I make sure before I close them and go to the next person, most of the time, I ask them what's the best way to reach you. Me personally, I'm just, the digital age, I still think we've got to go back to old school. I don't care. The phone or in person is the best. Not everybody has time for one-on-ones, but you need to carve out time in your schedule to make them important. Because they're not going to think you're important if you don't make them feel important.
You can't put makeup on phone.
Actually, I can do that. Something like that. But it's
On the computer, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a woman that I'm really good friends with that I reconnected with in Boston that she had a virtual facial with me. I would have hated to have to do it that way, but I had to do it that way because I'm not going to spend, like, I don't know, I'm just not going to fly all the way out there with only knowing one person out there. But it's a great idea. But yeah, so personal touches. Marilyn, what was your question?
How much is from referrals and how much is cold calling, whatever they call it? I mean, how much of your business is most of it from referrals, or do you get new business from somebody that you don't know that you just meet, like myself? So
I love hand selecting my clients and customers and the people I work with, and I think that's what's great about networking is you can pick and choose. That's just one facet. You need literally, you should be having anywhere from 5 to 7 different sources or generations of leads of where to get leads. You should. So events, networking, referrals, warm chatter like how I met you. So wonderful. Just meeting people where they're at. If you think shouldn't those people be where you are at? Right? So I have a customer, I was shaking in my boots, not even kidding you. I have a customer still that has been around since the very day one of my business because I built my business off of meeting different people. Even if it's scary, you just go and do it. You've got nothing to lose. It's a 50% chance when you go up to someone versus a 0% chance if you didn't at all. So yeah, and then a good way to work your business, and this is a whole other training, and it's really Genevieve's turn, honestly. But Genevieve, we're gonna have to talk about some other training at our meetings because I have some ideas.
Absolutely.
Yes, but there's so many things. I mean, you could the 4-Hour Work Week is a really good book to read. The One Thing by Gary Keller is amazing. But you can do a 4-hour workday if you really wanted to on your core things, and you can build that down to an hour with your contacting your team, your follow-up with your customers. And that if you don't have a team, that could be the people you network with and your other business owners, that kind of team, because there should be really 2 teams, the one that you personally build within your business if you have I do something like what I do, and you should have one of the team of people that you cohabitate and work with, especially with your networking, especially if you don't have a set, regardless if you have a set group or not. And I just like sharing experience. Genevieve is up. She's going to talk more about Avatar, and you kind of have an idea of who I am by now. So,
And I'm going to start with, before I go into the 7 pillars of alignment, I'm going to explain what is Avatar, because I'm sure you're going, Avatar? Isn't that the movie by James Cameron? So Avatar is actually an old Sanskrit word. Avatar actually means an enlightened being. So Jesus Christ, Buddha, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, St. Francis, they were all avatars. So if you open the brochure, I'm just going to read out loud in Harry Palmer words. And Harry Palmer is the author and the creator of the Avatar materials. He's an educational psychologist, and he studied how consciousness works for 10 years, and he developed these tools. So Avatar is the most powerful, purest self-development program available. It is a series of experiential exercises that enable you to recover yourself and align your consciousness with what you want to achieve. You will experience your own unique insights and revelations. No one will tell you what to believe or who you are. It's about you finding out about you. Would you like to be free of old restraints that make you unhappy? Would you like to align your beliefs with the goals you want to accomplish? Would you like to feel more secure about your ability to conduct your own life? Would you like the experience of a higher, wiser, more peaceful expression of self? Would you like to be able to rise above the sorrows and struggles of the world and see them for what they really are? And would you like to experience the state of consciousness traditionally described as enlightenment? Then Avatar is for you. So Avatar is consciousness tools. And what's consciousness? Well, we all have a mind. It's not the brain matter between the ears. And you notice because how quickly you can change your mind. Like you deciding to come here tonight, you made up your mind to come, and then you came, right? Right? So that's what you're using. You're using your mind. Another way of saying that is consciousness. So the first thing, I'm going to be going through this book rather quickly. I'm going to be talking about the 7 pillars of enlightenment. And the very first pillar you need in order to create something is you need free attention. Attention is what we use in order to create. This is how we create our goals, whether it be in our business, our personal lives, money, a relationship, a goal at work, like you want to marry Kay. I know my friend Nicole has the goal to get one of the cars. So that might be one of your goals, like a sales goal. So, but what you need to achieve that goal is free attention. And where does our attention get stuck? It gets stuck on things in our past, like past trauma. And it also gets stuck on things that don't make sense to us. So someone will say something, you walk away and you're like, oh, what's that? And then like 2 days later, you're like, God, I still don't know what she meant by that. And unless you go back to that person and ask them, can you please explain until it makes sense, it's going to keep grabbing your attention. And when things keep grabbing your attention, you're no longer in the now, and you're going to miss opportunities. You're going to miss opportunities are going to go flying by. So in Avatar, we have an exercise. It's called releasing fixed attention. It's very easy. We have someone tell their story, and then when their attention's on it, they describe something in their environment. And then they go back to the story, and they describe it, and then they go back to another object and describe that. Now that going back and forth is literally squeezing your attention back. You're gathering all those attentions, decibels, and getting them back so that you can create forward into your future. Is this making sense? Great. So that's the first thing. Now there is really, that's the main, oh, I like this too. So what worry is, you know, when we worry about things, go ahead.
I was just going to say, to add to that, because I've done some work with Genevieve on this, it's like when you're fixed on something, like I've called her at times and I'm like, you know, especially when I've had, you know, a scuffle with my husband or something like that, and my attention is completely on that, what you know, what was going, you know, what did I read wrong, you know, and it's like we've been able to talk it out with this tool, and it's like releasing the emotion, being able to just,
right.
It's being able to kind of let it go and just put it to the side. It's no longer your attention. You feel at the end that your attention is no longer on because you've released the emotion. You're no longer angry or you're no longer. So
good point. Good point. So those things that are in our past that don't make sense to us, or what we consider our traumas, there's emotions that we have refused to own, and until you own it and experience it, you're still, part of your attention is going to keep going back to the past. So thank you for that point. That's a very good point. Releasing fixed attention is, it's in another one coming up. It's in the forgiveness, and it's about the cure for suffering is to suffer. You have to feel those feelings. It doesn't work pushing them down, because when we turn off one emotion, we're actually turning off all emotions. So that includes joy, happiness, contentment. You can't just turn off anger and mad and hurt. You turn off all the emotions. So 10 hints for creating free attention. The first hint, clean out a closet. Have you ever opened a closet? You're like, I don't even know what's in there anymore. I have that with my storage shed until 2 weeks ago. I know everything that's in there again. Clean out. Put appointments, bills due on a calendar. Forgive someone. You know that thing that with that fight, that person, forgive them. To quote Frozen, let it go. Let it go. Confess the transgression. When you're keeping secrets, it keeps your attention's going, oh, but I can't let them know that. Oh, but I can't let them know. Break down a big project into smaller steps. Divide a long-term goal into smaller goals. Throw away broken appliances you were going to fix. That thing's just sitting there. For 2 years, I've had a broken toaster, and I didn't give it up because it was my grandfather. He passed away like 15 years ago. And finally, I had to go, okay, goodbye, toaster. Didn't even work. Organize a garage, a kitchen, cabinet, closet, desk, old files. Make a to-do list. Decide to put something troubling behind you. And you can do that with the releasing fixed attention. So that's the first thing you need in order to, that's the first pillar of enlightenment is attention. You need free attention. The next one is you need to manage your beliefs. You ever noticed, like, one time, like you go to accomplish something and then it feels like there's something getting in your way, like you're trying to reach that goal and no matter what you do, well, in Avatar, you just can't seem to break through to get to that goal. In Avatar, we call that a transparent belief. A transparent belief is adopted in a moment that you're something less than rational. Maybe someone said something unkind to you, like, you're not worth it, and you took that on, and you walk away with that belief, I'm not worth it. And then you forget that you took on that belief, that impeding belief, and it becomes transparent. And so then when you go reach a goal, you start self-sabotaging because you have this transparent belief of, I'm not worth it. So Samantha, my sister-in-law, agreed before we came yesterday, Mom, would you be willing to do a transparent belief? And she said yes. So Samantha, this is not staged at all. I don't even know what subject she chose. But the objective of transparent beliefs is to discover them. The expected results are insights and personal transformation. Step 1, the guide or group leader asks, what would you like to change? Your weight. The guide or group leader asks, what belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
Well, I can see it on the scale.
And how would you prove that belief is true?
I look at the scale and it says a number that I don't like.
Okay. What other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
The way I feel with my body, it's not comfortable with the weight that I'm at.
And how would you prove that belief is true?
Every day I think about the fact that I want this to go away. Or to let go of the weight. Or that I think about that, but yet I hold on to it.
What other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
For me, it's been a comfort for many years. It's been a way to kind of going off what we were working on yesterday. Not taking care of myself. It's been the thing that I've continued to hold on to, and not to take care of myself.
And how would you prove that belief is true?
Well, because every time I try to start doing this, I maybe lose a little, but then I always gain it right back. It's like I just recently I lost like 20 pounds, and I gave it all up and gained all the 20 pounds back very easily.
What other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
I see in my mind that I can be skinny, but yet it's like the journey scares the crap out of me. It's like I make up so many excuses not to lose it.
And how do you think that belief is true?
Because I continue to have those excuses when I'm eating this instead of something that's a little more healthy for me, or that I continue to eat sugar.
What other belief might
Even though I know it's wrong, or not necessarily that it's wrong, but the sugar is bad for me.
What other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
It's just I feel like I can continue to hide. It's like my way to be able to hide. It's how I hide from everything, because when I am standing up in front of people, I don't think I should be standing up there because I look like this, and that I don't think people look at me like they don't. I'm not saying I don't think I'm beautiful, because I know people have told me that that I am beautiful, but even deep inside of me, that I don't know if I believe that yet. There's that.
And how would you prove that belief is true?
Because when I was younger, when I was in high school, I wasn't the one picked to be the popular person to have a boyfriend. I didn't really have a boyfriend until I was not even really, actually I had my first kiss when I was 16, but then that was just kind of like a moment, and then it was gone, and it was just and I never really had a boyfriend in high school, and so I just never thought I was worth it. I never thought I was and then I've had my father tell me, who comes in and out of my life, maybe you should just lose a little weight so you can find a job, or just some stupid things like that.
So you feel like we're getting close.
Yes.
What other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
I think it continues to go down to that. I don't think I'm enough. I don't think I'm, I don't think that I'm worthy enough to be skinny, or to feel better.
So just try saying I'm not enough.
I'm not enough. Yeah. I can feel it, but I think there's.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Can everyone feel how this is doing it? So we're going through layer of consciousness. So we're getting really close, because we can feel it. And this is an intuitive feel, not an emotional feel. So what other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
I think there was a time that when I was younger, I didn't know how to manage my emotions when it came to the opposite sex, in a sense that because I wasn't taught how to actually handle a lot of that by because I would have crushes, and then it's like my grandmother would tell me, no, you should never be, or you should. It's not that you shouldn't have that, but you shouldn't have boys, and you shouldn't have a relationship with a boy. You know what I mean? Or be a friend, and that was kind of like this. I was so mad and angry. I remember that. I was just being their friend. It's not like I was,
doing anything. How do you prove that belief is true? You shouldn't have close relationships with boys.
Because I didn't have a close relationship with a boy for a long time, and then when I was in high school, when I was in 8th grade, I found a person that I liked from a distance for a really long time, and finally.
5 minutes left.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. What other belief? They're good.
Yeah.
What other belief might someone have in order to experience weight?
I didn't feel like I had a voice when it came to that. That's really what it is. I didn't feel like I had a voice. I wasn't confident enough to stand up for myself and say, no, I can't have a relationship. There are boys or people that want to have a relationship with me. That's really where it's at, and so that's
So I thank you, Samantha. I mean, that took a lot of bravery and courage to do this so publicly. I mean, and I I really applaud you. And it will be interesting to notice how the weight loss goes. And I'll continue to work with you because you do have a voice, and what you say matters. It matters to me, it matters to Grant, and it matters to your friends in this room. So thank you so much for doing that. So that was not scripted. That was a transparent belief, and that was blocking from Samantha reaching the goal for weight loss. So that's in belief management. And the next pillar is your will. And I think everyone knows what their willpower is. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Come on. Yeah, someone give her a hug. I think we all know what your willpower is. You know, when you really want to do something, you stir that up, and that's what you use to sometimes, you know, kick yourself in the butt to get something done, you know? So that's your willpower. And then it's creating definition. Sometimes you're like, I want this goal, but you don't really define it. How can God give you what you want? You know, like, I want a relationship. Well, be specific. With a man who has his stuff together. Right?
You said that on purpose just to make me laugh, huh?
Right? No.
You're
be
picking on me.
Right? Be specific what you want. So that's the creating definition. And the fifth pillar is compassion. And you all have a compassion card. In your flyer, there's a compassion card. I'm going to guide us all through this exercise. So this instructions is this exercise can be done where people congregate, airports, malls, parks, beaches, etc. It should be done on strangers and obtrusively from some distance. Try to do all 5 steps on the same person. Expected results are a personal sense of peace. And if you look down on the variations, it says may be done by couples and family members to increase understanding of each other. So pick a friend, or if you have a partner, pick your partner. They may not be here. Or if you have a family member you recently have had an upset with. So go ahead and call them to your attention in your mind. And with attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person's seeking some happiness for his or her life. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in his or her life. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is seeking to fulfill his or her needs. And with attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is learning about life. Now, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I've had heard for years, you need to forgive, you need to forgive. Avatar actually taught me how. And I used to be an MFT intern, a marriage family therapist, and I needed, Avatar is the one who actually, this tool taught me how to let it go. Sometimes it's really easy to say, let that go, but until you do that releasing fixed attention and release that and get that attention back, it's difficult to let things go. So the last 2 pillars are personal integrity. We did a class night last night. Samantha and Marilyn came. It was incredible. It's all about self-deception, because when you're pointing the finger to other people, guess what? There's 3 pink fingers pointing back. So there's judgment is really judgment of self. When you're judging someone else, it's really you're judging yourself, and those are the parts of yourself you're not loving. Thank you. Yes. Thanks, Bill. And then the last pillar of enlightenment is actually basic life alignment. And this is the goal setting. This is about going into the future and making things happen. If you have any questions, I'm available. I handed out my card to all of you. I teach all 7 of these mini courses for free. You can meet me at my house in Folsom, or I'll come to you. I've gone as far as Maui and as far as Florida, and I even taught one in France once, in Paris. So I will travel to teach this. The mission of Avatar is to create world peace, and I hope you got some value out of tonight. And if you're sitting here thinking, this might be something I'm interested, please come see me after. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
All right.
Well, thank you, Genevieve. That was